Animals have been sacrificing their lives for the well-being of humans. Every year, millions of animals are used in various experiments around the world. November 3rd, 1957 became an important day in human history by becoming the first animal to orbit the Earth, little Laika. But unfortunately, Laika's death happens in space before the planned time. The end of her life has been very tragic and painful. So today, this video is dedicated to share with you the story of Laika, who was martyred for humanity. Stay with us. This is the Daily Quiz. A very small girl dog lived alone on the streets of Moscow. She was kicked by someone from time to time, slept somewhere aside when she was sleepy, and lived a very difficult but free life. Her name is Kudravka. It means curly. Born around 1954, she is a combination of two breeds of dogs called Serbian Husky and Terrier. This little girl dog, who was 3 years old at that time, is being taken into custody for the reasons of healthy appearance, diligence, and not belong to anyone. Kudravka had to undergo several medical examinations. After that, she is assigned a big task that she cannot say no to. That task is to go on a long journey into outer space, to be exact. Later her name was changed to Laika. It means little barking one. At this stage, scientists knew little about the effects of space travel on living organisms. Also, the technology required to bring an orbited spaceship back to Earth was not that advanced at that time. Many scientists believed that it was impossible for humans to orbit in space or sustain their lives in the physical conditions of orbit. Because of that, scientists considered that sending an animal into space before humans should be a basic and a necessary step. According to the hypothesis of scientists, a dog like Laika had maximum ability to withstand extreme cold and extreme hunger. According to the recommendations, the selected dog had to be of hybrid type, weighing 5 kilograms and 3 years of age. Laika, a dog that fit the recommendations, according to the head of the operation, was attractive and a quiet female dog. Laika was engaged in training with two other dogs, Albina and Mushka. They were housed in small cages for 20 days to acclimate them to Sputnik 2's tiny cabin, which was slightly larger than a washing machine. Because of this, they stopped urinating and defecating, and they became agitated. Their general physical conditions also began to deteriorate. But the researchers realized that only after a long period of training would effective result be achieved. The dogs were given practical activities in various machines to accustom them to vibration, loud noise, and centrifugation. This is not only doubled their pulse but also caused their blood pressure to rise to 30 to 65 millimeters of mercury. Also, they were trained to eat a special high nutrient gel that is their food in space. In the end, Laika was chosen to travel on the Soviet spacecraft Sputnik 2, Also, this mission and Laika were introduced to the public through radio. While the Soviet Union and Laika were preparing for this huge project, animal lovers started their protest to stop this operation. Powers outside the Soviet Union, such as Britain, cited such experiment as horrific and dangerous. The Soviet Union responded to all these demonstrations and protests, saying that they were doing it not for cruelty, but for the benefit of humanity. However, it was possible to prevent Laika's death. When the plan was originally drawn up, it included Laika's return. The Soviets had decided to provide her with all the comfort she would need to live in space and then bring her back safely. But unfortunately, Soviet leader Khrushchev wanted to launch Sputnik 2 on the 40th anniversary of the Bolshevik Revolution. Due to lack of time, they were able to build a spacecraft capable of sending an organism into orbit, but not capable of bringing that organism back. Before going into space, one of the scientists took Laika home to play with his children. I wanted to do something nice for her. She had so little time left to live, he has mentioned later. On November 3rd, 1957, Laika was ordered to enter a strange spaceship. She can stand inside that little spaceship and she can turn a little in both directions. It's a tiny little prison. There is nothing to do. This journey is for humanity, for the golden future of man. The temperature inside the cabin was automatically adjusted to 15 degrees so that this little guy would not be harmed by the high temperature and the extreme cold of the sky when the spaceship was going up. This is a return trip, isn't it? Laika looks around as if to ask. You will be a hero in history, an army officer says to Laika. At 2 a.m. on November 3rd, Sputnik 2 took off from Baikonur, Kazakhstan. At that time, Kazakhstan belonged to Soviet Russia. It was a successful launch. Is Laika coming back? They don't have time to think about it. One is the Cold War, and this is an investment in the future of mankind. It is a great honor for a little street dog to become the first creatures to go into space. Where can you find a better example of human cruelty? Soviet scientists knew from the beginning that there would be no return to Laika's special space journey. They called her death extremely humane and said they would feed Laika until she ran out of oxygen on board the 250-pound Sputnik 2 and take vital data. After that, they have arranged for Laika's death without pain by giving her food mixed with poison. For many years, that is what the world believed about the humane death of this heroic dog. But Laika's end was quite different and very tragic and painful. At the 2002 World Space Summit in Houston, USA, former Soviet scientist Dmitry Malyshenkov revealed that within hours of Sputnik 2's launch, Laika died due to overheating in the cabin due to errors in the temperature control system designed in a very short period of time. After 5 months of 2,570 orbits with the body of Laika, Sputnik 2 burned up on re-entry into Earth's atmosphere on April 14, 1958. It doesn't matter, Laika is a hero. Millions of animals give their lives for the future of man. That is the way human civilizations have been built. Today, tourists also go to space for fun. People are talking about building colonies on the planet Mars. Can you see? Homo sapiens are very advanced. Not only that, In the future, there will be wars between humans and humans in space. Even now, thousands of satellites are orbiting around the Earth. Many years ago, the spaceship carrying Laika may have orbited the Earth like this. Unfortunately, we do not have a grave where Laika's body was buried. But in Moscow, there is a very wonderful statue of Laika that was built recently. Finally, what else can be said, Laika? Thank you for your sacrifice for us, because it's already too late to say sorry. Thanks for staying till the end.